Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's Saturday, May 30th. I'm Lily Wu.
And I'm Frank Waugh. Thanks to you so much for turning the TV on. And I'm playing the role of Tanner today.
You are. He's on vacay.
Yeah, I know. Must be nice.
I know.
You know what? He picked a good time to be off because we've had rain, and now we're dry. I mean, what great timing for Riverfest. Just fantastic. Let's go ahead and show you the radar here. KAKE First Alert Doppler HD. We got all 5 radars spinning for you. There's nothing in KAKE land right now falling that's significant. Maybe a few sprinkles riding the Kansas-Nebraska state line, but other than that, no big problems at all. Satellite and radar picture looks like this. We are starting things off with cloud cover this morning. Really, that's all across KAKE land. We take you out west, Hugoton on our WeatherBug network, seeing the clouds, and also here on the Emprise Bank KAKE Cam in Wichita. But don't be afraid with the clouds this morning. It does not mean rain here in Wichita. We're at 55 right now, 51 in Dodge, 40s in northwest Kansas. You may actually want the jacket there. 10-hour forecast looking like this today. As we get into the afternoon hours, eventually we're going to see those highs up in the lower 70s. We'll talk more about that and when our next rain chance is coming up.
Thank you, Frank. While we're getting a break from that rain, more is expected in Texas. Late Friday, the president declared a major disaster in the state and ordered federal aid to help with recovery efforts. More than 10 million Americans are at risk for violent weather over the weekend, with mandatory evacuations around Houston. At least 28 people have been killed across the country in those storms, 24 in Texas alone. And 3 people died after a small plane crashed in Plainview, Texas, 50 miles north of Lubbock. The crash happened while departing from the airport around 9 last night. Local authorities report that the plane was destroyed by the fire following the crash. New this morning, the president blames a handful of senators for stalling key provisions of the Patriot Act. The president wants those key provisions extended, but without action by Sunday midnight, a number of tools that permit law enforcement to pursue terror suspects will expire.
So we now have Democrats and Republicans in both the House and the Senate who think this is the right way to go. We've got our law enforcement and national security teams and civil liberties proponents and advocates who say this is the right way to go. The only thing that's standing in the way is a handful of senators who are resisting these reforms.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is calling the Senate back into session on Sunday, just hours before the midnight deadline. Now to an on-your-side personal safety alert. Wichita police investigating a string of vehicle break-in cases. Take a good look at this picture. Police are searching for this man in connection for those break-ins near 29th Street between Ridge and Hoover. 2 Saturdays ago, Tiffany Fruit says she and her husband and young daughter had gone to bed for the night. Then their neighbor happened to be up around 2:30 in the morning and witnessed a group of guys attempting to break into their car.
Thankfully, she saw him, was wondering what in the world someone was doing up at 2:30. Yelled at them, they yelled back at her to get in the house, and she said that she was going to call the police. So she ran back in, notified the police, and thankfully they didn't continue the attempt to break into the car, and so they ran off.
Wichita police say the suspect pictured right here is possibly driving a newer black Ford Focus. Anyone with information should contact police. A demonstration of the power of social media. A customer shoots a photo of food being stored in the bathroom of a Sonic in Topeka, and it quickly goes viral. It's this photo right here from Shawnee County of hamburger and hot dog buns in a restroom. That is what one man found at this Sonic on Southwest 29th and Gage in Topeka. So he took his disgust to social media, and the incriminating picture quickly spread. A Sonic spokesman says the bread racks were in the restroom for about half an hour. Upon realizing that error, the manager immediately threw them away. Sonic says workers at that location will undergo more training to ensure proper food safety. Wichita's 44th annual Riverfest kicked off on Friday, but the quick flow of the Arkansas River putting a little damper on some of those activities. KAKE's Monica Castro has your highlights from day 1 of Riverfest.
It's that time of year again where thousands gather for Riverfest activities. Some come to feast.
There's a whole bunch of food you can eat.
Some come to try something new.
My parents talked me into it. That's the only reason. I hate heights. I do not like them. But after you jumped, it went away.
But unfortunately, those looking to do river activities today couldn't. We were told the water flow was too fast and dangerous.
The river is flowing pretty briskly. The problem we have now is the water is low because they're letting a lot of water through the river. Once we get the river back up again and we can slow the flow down and the river will be deeper, we'll be able to do more events.
They couldn't tell us if the water would be safe enough tomorrow.
We have to play with Mother Nature, and right now she holds all the cards. We'll deal with what we can, and if people have a little patience, we're here all week long.
While the lack of river activities was a damper for some, downtown was flooded with people eager for the parade.
I like the sense of community and how everybody kind of bonds together.
But of course, lots of anticipation for a good fireworks show tonight.
The fireworks, that's got to be the one. Sitting on a blanket with a whole group of friends and watching the fireworks.
And the opening night fireworks lit up the Wichita skies last night. Thousands of people crowded the streets to get a peek at those fireworks. The rain kept away so they could go off around 10 p.m. Well, here are just a few of the Riverfest events that are happening on Saturday. Helicopter rides from the West Bank kick off at 9:30 a.m. Stick around and enjoy the Red Dirt concert with Kyle Park at the Red Guard stage at 3 and at 6 o'clock. Make art in the park. That will be on the lawn of the Hyatt Hotel. Find the full Riverfest schedule at KAKE.com. Just click on Find It. A Wichita State student being called a hero for his role in preventing a suicide bomber from entering a mosque in Saudi Arabia with explosives. KAKE's Chris Frank has reaction from those who knew the man very well.
This was him. This is him.
WSU Associate Professor Patriot Kumar is being sent numerous photos of Abdul Jalil al-Arbash from Jalil's many friends still on campus. Professor Kumar had difficulty believing the news.
I didn't know what to do because I had to verify, but the first response was, but he's gone to get married. Like, that's the only thing you think, he's gone to get married. How can he die? Especially because he was so excited.
Jalil was just on the WSU campus earlier this month taking finals. He returned to Saudi Arabia preparing to get married before returning to Wichita for the fall semester. Jalil and another young man were security guards at a mosque in Dammam, Saudi Arabia. They spotted a man disguised as a woman trying to get inside the mosque. The two prevented the suicide bomber from entering and pursued and tackled him when the man detonated his explosives, killing all three. They're being hailed as heroes and martyrs for saving the lives of many others. On campus, Kumar remembers something she almost told Jalil as he was leaving her office to return to Saudi Arabia.
Because he was going, and I know he was going, and I wanted to go out the door and tell him, come back safe. But I didn't do that because I was like, what, something went in my head, like, what's going to happen? I was like, why would you say that? You're obviously going to come back safe, and, he's getting married. He's going to come back married.
That was the plan. Jalil's other close friends want others to know about the type of selfless guy he was allowing himself to act so heroically. Now, their reactions coming up in our next half hour.